The subject matter of categorical logic is categorical propositions. So we're going to start by trying to understand this notion. A categorical proposition indicates a relation between groups, classes, or, in the classic terminology, categories of objects. Hence the name categorical propositions in categorical logic. One of the main components of categorical propositions are terms. A term is a word or phrase that designates a group of objects, right? That is a category. For instance, dog, human, train, tiger, all of them are terms. A categorical proposition contains two terms, and the term that comes first is called the subject term. The term that comes the second is the predicate term. These are usually abbreviated as S and P respectively. There are different kinds of categorical propositions. In particular, there are four kinds, and they depend on which quantifier appears, namely whether it's all or some, and on whether the predicate term is negated or not. The first form is all S are P. So, for example, had a proposition such as all cats are mammals is an instance of this form. Now, what is the subject term here, and what is the predicate term? As we said, the subject term is the one that appears first. In this case, it is cats, right? There are two terms, cats and mammals. And the first one that appears is cats. So cats is the subject term. That is, it is the one that substitutes for the S in the form. The remaining term is mammals, which is the predicate term, and that is the one that substitutes the P. The second form is no S or P. So you can see that this form is just like the first one, except that instead of all, we have no. An example of this form is no dogs are reptiles. Then the subject terms is dogs, and the predicate term is reptiles. The third form is some S are P, or some S is P. And you can see that again, this is just like the first form, just like instead of all, we have some. Again, an example is some dogs are poodles. So the subject terms is dogs, and the predicate term is poodles. Finally, the fourth kind is some S are not P. And we can see that it's just like the third form, but with a negated second term. An example, again, some dogs are not chihuahuas. And the subject term is dogs, predicate term, chihuahuas. In sum, there are four propositional forms, each with its abbreviation. The first one, all S are P, is abbreviated as A. The second one, no S is P, is labeled as E. The third one, some S is P, is abbreviated as I. And the fourth one, some S is not P, is abbreviated as O. Each categorical form represents a particular combination of quality and quantity. Quantity has to do with the number of individuals to which the subject term applies. And this could be some, or this could be all, or no. So we can see that the particulars are I and O, because they deal with some S. On the other hand, both A and E are universal, because they have to do with all the individuals that are S, right? And so the first one says that all S are P, and the second one says that no S is P, that is, all S are not P. Quality has to do with whether the predicate term is affirmed of the subject term or negated of it. So we can see that A and I are both affirmative because they say something about S, right? Either that all are P or some are P. Whereas E and O are negative, right? Because they negate P of all S, as in the first case, or of some of them. So A is a universal affirmative. E is a universal negative. I is a particular affirmative. And O is a particular negative. Okay, that's all for today. In the next video, we're going to learn how to represent categorical propositions with Venn diagrams.